Hello, this is Father Nicholas Sheehy wishing you a very merry and blessed Christmas. Greeting you from the Duke Catholic Center. And I think that a big question for a lot of us right now is how do I survive my family for Christmas? Now, perhaps it's not so drastic, but it is something that is coming up a lot in recent conversations. I too am getting ready to go visit my family, and so I've reflected about this with a lot of people recently, and so I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts because perhaps it's something that you're dealing with as well. Not as drastically as how I'm going to survive my family, perhaps for most of us, but still, it's good to kind of come into it very aware. And so, first, take a deep breath, relax, kind of like let the tension out of your shoulders. And this is a good thing that you're going to be able to spend time with friends and family, perhaps people that you don't get to see all the time. This is definitely the case for a lot of our students. And so it's a joyous moment to be able to be there. So number two, precisely that gratitude. There's so many people that are alone this Christmas. I think we should pray for them. It's something I always like to think about at Christmas dinner, to remember those that are sick, those that are suffering, those that are alone. I think that loneliness is perhaps one of the deepest sufferings, precisely at the holidays, precisely at a time as beautiful and blessed as Christmas. Well, it's good for us to remember that there's others that don't share those same experiences. And so we should pray for them in a special way. And this can help us experience deeper gratitude for the blessings that we have. It's better to fight with your sister than to not have your sister. And so I think that second step that is so helpful for us is to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Third tip, emotional reset. I think one of the things that happens is we get together for Christmas and there's just a lot more people together than what we're used to. And perhaps, there's old, kind of conflicts or tensions that we might be dealing with. And the thing is that we bundle it all together. It's like we're carrying this huge package with a lot of different emotional difficulties and trouble. And so I'm upset with my sister, but I bring that in when I'm talking to my brother, and then I see my parents, and it just kind of all blows up until I explode. And that's not what we want to do. And I would suggest, an emotional reset. If I'm unfortunately in a tense situation with one of my siblings, we'll deal with that. But then to kind of like reset, come back to zero, and then, face the next situation. Hopefully with a lot of generosity, with a lot of love, right? But I think it is important to not carry emotional tension from another relationship with this person that I'm dealing with right now. That for me is key. It's not always easy to do, but it's definitely very worthwhile trying. And then fourth, this is something that's important for me. It's one of the great secrets to success, to happiness, is to manage expectations. And I think a lot of times we're hoping for relationships to be what they're not going to be. And so we have to learn to manage our expectations, to realize, sometimes this person that I care for deeply and that I wish that our relationship was different, maybe he or she's just not able to do that. They're not able to give what we would like to receive. And as long as we have our expectations up here, but the reality is here, well, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with frustration, we're dealing with disappointment, and there's kind of this sadness that overtakes our heart. And I think that that's something we have to learn to manage expectations, and then we're able to accept the reality in a much better way. And then finally, number five, go to serve. Personally, I've been very touched by the gospel of the visitation recently. So we have, Mary, she receives the message from the angel Gabriel that she's going to be the mother of God. Huge news, what we're celebrating at Christmas, the incarnation. Great, great, great news. But there's, kind of this little message that he gives as well, which is your cousin Elizabeth is with child, she who was thought to be barren. And so Mary goes to visit Elizabeth. Now here I think it's something, interesting to reflect on. I don't think that Mary's trying to, make sure that the angel is telling her the truth. I think she already noticed that she was pregnant. And so the miracle had already happened. But Mary goes because she's somebody who wants to serve. She's somebody who loves. And so when Mary goes to visit Elizabeth, She's not worried about, does she get the best guest room? She's not worried about, are they taking care of her? She's pregnant as well. She's pregnant with the Son of God. So it definitely should be a priority. Mary goes to serve. And it's that love and generosity and peace that just wins everybody over. And I think this is the final and the greatest secret if you really want to have happiness at Christmas is go to serve. So often we're so selfish, we're focused on ourselves, we're still kind of in that sentimentality, what am I going to get? And we're really called to be giving of ourselves, to love others, to serve generously with a lot of peace. And so these are my 5 keys for not only surviving, but thriving in times of holiday get-togethers, being together with our family, especially at Christmas. Let's not just survive, let's thrive. God bless.